A conservative watchdog, Judicial Watch, issuing lawsuits against the Justice Department for documents on ties of its top officials to the Clinton-funded Trump dossier. Here now is the Director of Investigations and Research at Judicial Watch, Chris Farrell. Chris, first of all, I just got to ask you about this breaking news and the Nunberg thing. Does it smell like a fishing expedition to you? Because it seems like a pretty wide net they're throwing out there.
It does, and it's literally a laundry list of the who's who. It's the wildest dreams of the Hillary Clinton DNC-funded smear campaign that, ironically, they ended up indirectly paying the Russian intelligence service for. So if you buy into this whole saga, and there's yet to be a single indictment, or no one can articulate the criminal predicate, no one can tell you what crime has been committed yet. It's like reading the Steele dossier. If you throw around enough names long enough, maybe somebody somewhere will believe something. But
well, but it's up to the people in power, the people who've got the power to put out subpoenas, the people who got the power to investigate a document like the Trump dossier to find out whether it's real or not. And that kind of documentation was not done. Isn't that what you're trying to find out with your investigation of the Department of Justice?
Exactly. So we've sought all communications, records, contacts, emails, texts concerning Bruce Ohr, who was the number 4 at Justice, his wife Nellie Ohr, who was a Fusion GPS employee or
contractor. And let me just reiterate, Fusion GPS was paid by the Hillary campaign and the DNC to get dirt on Donald Trump, and they came up with the Trump dossier. Go ahead.
Right, exactly. So she's in the middle of that up to her neck. And so you have this very senior Justice Department official, Bruce Ohr, and his wife is working for the people who are dreaming up this dossier along with Christopher Steele, and they're funneling money purportedly from the DNC and Hillary Clinton to Steele's assets, the people that he's using as sources, who arguably were either co-opted by or actual agents of the Russian government. So you want to find collusion, start there. But
well, it's clearly collusion. But as ridiculous as some of these reports are in the Trump dossier and unverified, to use the words of former Director James Comey, still people are supporting. There was a huge piece that just appeared in the New Yorker magazine, 15,000-word piece by Jane Mayer, who was apparently one of the people that Fusion was dumping information from Trump dossier to, trying to defend not only Christopher Steele, but also Glenn Simpson, the founder of Fusion GPS, and also the Trump dossier itself. They're still trying to defend this thing.
Well, Jane Mayer has never felt encumbered by the truth. She has a long track record in that regard. So there are certainly sloppy elements of reporting in this long piece. And it's really an attempt to rehabilitate and make Steele seem like some sort of a sympathetic character. Look, there's all sorts of propaganda organs out there. She's going to write what she's going to write. Just look at her track record. It speaks for itself.
Well, and look at the track record of Fusion GPS, which is a smear merchant. They go out and smear very often decent people, particularly the Magnitsky family, which was the person who was killed by Putin in a jail. And Fusion GPS did its best to smear them. One must assume working with elements who, if not were directly connected at Putin, at least were sympathetic to the concern that Putin had about the Magnitsky Act, which prevents trade with Russia. So it's very interesting. Best of luck. Let us know when you get information, if you do, from the Department of Justice, Chris.
We certainly will. Thank you, David.
You.